Hi, everyone. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie, and this is the weather and lifestyle news. Well, I get real nervous before these shows. I got to tell you that. Um, I almost pace. So, welcome. And if you're new, welcome to our show. This is a lifestyle news channel, and this is the news you don't normally hear on the normal media. And if you're looking for our trivia and news, that'll be in the following hour. And hello to Susan and happy Friday. Wow, this week went by so quick. She's got popcorn. See, I got that one. They've been trying to fool me with these other little things. And, uh, oh, well, there goes the World Series. The octopus story is something real interesting. I mean, I knew the octopus act like this. I think they're cranky. Um, but now we had a 7.1 earthquake in Tonga this morning. I was up for it. For some reason, I keep waking up too early. And it came, I mean, it hit me, boom, live. Tonga with a 7.1 earthquake. We also got this freeze that's going all the way down at Tallahassee at 39 degrees over the weekend. Uh, and they say even up around the Canadian border, like 3 degrees for a low. Yeah, mini ice age. I don't think it's climate change. I think Mother Nature's fixing herself. Um, I do welcome you to the channel, and we appreciate all the viewers and subscribe and follow over there on Facebook. Um, and if you are new, we do a news, a little bit of lifestyle news, and we do the weather, earthquakes, tornadoes over on the East Coast, and then we do some pets and recalls, and this is every little bit of everything, and then I end the show with a little bit of laughter and a tickle in your step. All right. Who else is getting rain? Well, we'll see. I'm going to put Miss Davis up. I didn't see what she had to wear. I'm going to go in sync with her, maybe. Uh, I think we have Miss Davis. And then we'll get on to some of this other horrible news. First off, did you guys see that Nicole, uh, Ian, took out a lot of the oceanfront houses? And then Nicole came along and ripped the rest of them, threw them in the ocean. It's bad in Florida. And today DeSantis went around. He didn't go to the big cities, folks. He went to all the small little towns along the beaches and offered help and asked them what they needed. So thank goodness for DeSantis. All right. So who else is getting rain? Uh, we got spit on, Karen. I hate that. We need lots and lots of rain. I don't care if it screws my allergies up. I want the rain. I want the snow. Oh, speaking of snow, Arkansas could get some over the weekend. I got to bring my plants in. It's going to be a low of, I think, 32 degrees tonight. Folks, I want to remind you, once it gets down to 33 or so, leave your faucets dripping. Please do that. Save your pipes. I got plumber friends, and you would not believe the amount of phone calls they get a day after a overnight freeze. And they said they keep, not enough news media is telling people to leave their faucets dripping. So, all right. I bet they can't do that in California. I bet they tell them, no, let your pipes break. Uh, all right. So here we go with the weather.
Well, happy Friday, everyone. And as we get this weekend started, we will do so with a lot of rain. We're still dealing with Nicole here, up and down the East Coast. So from the southeast up to the northeast, Nicole is going to be in your forecast today in some way or form. And rain is going to be one of the biggest impacts. Now, through the middle of the country, behind that cold front, there's the colder air that is moving in and will take over by the weekend. We still have some rain out to the northwest, but high pressure has taken control of much of the Rockies. So that's what we're going to see on Saturday as well. And notice on Saturday along the coast that rain even clears. So not looking too bad this weekend. Now, Saturday through the middle part of the country, we have that cold that has moved in. It will stay dry from the north down to the south, and we'll still have some lingering showers associated with the cold front from the southeast up to the northeast as well. And of course, we'll be watching Nicole exit. the northeast and dissipate. So there's a look at your forecast on Sunday, and you can see still dealing with a few showers along the east coast.
Karen, are you going to get snow? I mean, it's heading your way, and boy, did you see that low front that goes all the way down and dips all the way into Florida, where everybody is going to be cold. That's why I said burr, any a mini ice age. Uh, that's almost, but 'tis the season, and if it's, um, I just want to, boy, this is kind of conspiracy, and I don't like to do conspiracies on the show. When we Ivanka Trump, and we're talking Mama Ivanka, not the young girl, uh, and the kids, stop the chemtrails. I don't know if you guys knew that. And they got it passed through Congress and Senate that let's see what happens if we stop the chemtrails. See if Mother Nature will repair itself. And I think that's what we're going through is a repair. Now I feel sorry for those up north if they get deep snow this winter. Um, but this is Mother Nature. Let's see what she does over this winter. Uh, we're supposed to get flurries on Sunday, she says, and then we've got Linda. Almost is hi friends, hi family. I added that, Linda, for you. Hi family. So I'm going to move on to this cold front that um, they're talking about, and this is I don't know if to be scared over it with it being so early, and everybody says, "Is this normal for Arkansas?" And then I go, "Yeah," because every year I pray that I get snow on my birthday, and then I say, "Oh, how about snow on Thanksgiving?" But we never get it on either one. So here we go.
There is coming, and temperatures are going to be dropping drastically, really across much of the country. The cold air today is residing in the plains and then will slowly move to the east and the south as we go through the weekend. So notice a lot of you, well, today you'll be in the 60s, but it will be drastically different by the time we get to Sunday. Now, on Saturday in the northeast, we could be looking at record warm lows. Well, that's going to be quite a change when you go from Saturday morning until Sunday morning and Monday morning, when a lot of you in the Northeast are going to wake up to temperatures in the 30s, right around the freezing mark. So, yes, the cold is going to take hold over much of the country, and it's going to likely stay that way through next week as well. And as we get closer to Thanksgiving, so there's a look at the pattern next week, and it stays chilly.
So there's that jet stream I was telling you about that dips all the way down to the bottom of the states, even to Tallahassee. And they said, this is going to last through next week. Um, so this is burr cold. Get your mittens, your scarves, and your umbrellas. Time to get the umbrellas out if you haven't gotten one. Go buy you an umbrella, folks. Get a new one. I get that for the kiddos every year for Christmas. That's one of their um, uh, Santa Claus gifts. I hope you heard that. Yeah, and sometimes Mrs. Claus gives it to them. But it's nice to give them gloves. You get them a nice little beanie hat, you a scarf, and get them an umbrella. That's something. And another thing I do is I get them a pillow every year. These are necessities, and you know what? The kids go, but my aunt used to get us underwear. Uh, Not to be funny, but that's what she would say, open it, and I do that to the kids, and they're like, and I'm like, at least it isn't Aunt Bertha getting you underwear. Um, but she would be excited, and we're all looking at her like, uh we'll open it later, Aunt Bertha. Yeah, I had an Aunt Bertha, and I think I'm a lot like her. Uh, I thought she was a wonderful woman. So, all right, yeah, break out the blankets, get out the electric blankets. Um, you know, sometimes this is another thing. Get some of them old blankets if you have to replace your blankets. Now, I know everybody's got really good seals on their doors, but you know what? I was told by a guy that came through and did like I guess, he went through my house and told me what I needed to fix to get it weatherized. And he said old blankets, or sheets that you want to get rid of that are just too messed up and you're going to throw them away anyway. He says, put them down in front of your doors. And he says, you wouldn't believe the difference in the warmth. Also, put them down and line your cabinets in your kitchen because they don't really insulate down there when they build your houses. So, well, I'm getting all kinds of weather tips today. I didn't want to do weather tips. I wanted to get into the news. So the 7.1 that hit Tonga, surprise for me. Uh, so it was a 7.1 this morning. Well, lo and behold, when I pulled up the earthquake map to this evening, they have upgraded it. And USGS don't do that, folks. They upgraded to a 7.3. So I said, I wonder what the highs was. A lot of the highs for this earthquake was 7.5. This was huge. And more than likely, Tonga and the residents there are going to need a lot of help. Boy, that's something. And they had an aftershock of a 5.1, which that's normal, and another one of a 4.6. So they're coming down now. So where does it go next? Oh boy. Well, we had one over in my things in my way, Brazil of a 5.0. Then we had one on the north or the southern mid-Atlantic ridge of a 5.0. So we're seeing fives. Now, the ones that have recently hit just within the last minute, one for Kursk, Russia, a 4.5, and that's one that gets it all the time, and Dominican Republic, a 3.1. So that we could see there's quite a few of them. Now, the ones that I'm going to go let's see, Mexico, I guess I'm going backwards a little bit. Not Mexico, Nicaragua with a 4.1. Over on the islands, Virgin Islands, they all had threes and threes to fours. And then as we go up into the United States, Little Lake, California with a 2.8. We had one in Coyanosa, Texas. What the heck? Why are we having an earthquake there? And then we had one in Medicine Park. Karen, we've never heard these before. I think when we had the 7.3, what did I say? Um, I think it really put a big jolt. I would like to see, I don't know if you guys know, down in Africa, they had an earthquake that split the earth open not on a fault line though. And maybe I'll have to show you guys some pictures one of these days on it. And every time there is a really super big earthquake somewhere in the world, it gets bigger. So I'm wondering, maybe well, there's nothing over in Africa. We did have one on the Mid Atlantic Ridge. Um, so here we are with Medicine Park, Oklahoma, which we've never had one in. Guess what? We had one in Manila, Arkansas. My dog is crazy today. Now William has heard her over the phone. I keep calling him. Um, Heard her over the phone, and he heard her whining at the door. But it was because we were having pizza delivered. Wasn't over the earthquakes. And then Tennessee, Tiptonville, Tennessee had one of 3.2. But I don't know. My Scotty dog went through the same thing, and so my new dog that's a blue tick coonhound. Both of them, whenever there is earthquakes in Oklahoma or Tennessee, they pace, they get whiny, they they want in and out, more active. So keep an eye on your dogs, as it goes. I'm thinking this is going to go up the East Coast. Maybe Susan and Karen will feel one of these. Did I feel the one here? No, no, I didn't feel nothing here. Um, I know what they feel like. I'm from California. Now, if we move up into, um, I'm going to go up into Japan. Itaman, Japan got a 5.3. And then towards Russia, Sikatan, Russia had one of 4.5. Then we see a little bit of activity in Alaska. Um, and, I keep an eye on Alaska because, they've had one of the biggest earthquakes in history there. And it's so what are we looking at there? Petersville, Alaska, 3.7. Um, all of them are in between 2.7 and there was even one in Valdez, 2.6, Pilot Point, 2.7. So, and a lot of them read 3.0 this morning. I love how they downgrade them. And by the time I get to them, when they have them like 3.0, and then all of a sudden they drop them. But they go on an average, folks. They have many earthquake seismologists labs all over that keep an eye on these, and they all give their reports what they get from their meters. And then what they do is they just average it out. And sometimes, they'll have it pretty strong and then it dies out. Now, over in Marotta, Italy, they had a 4.2. We had one, wow, up in deep Russia. And I look to see why are we having these things? And what I'm finding out is a lot of these out of the area weird um, earthquakes we have is like Dutchson says that it's volcanic, and sometimes it's where we're fracking. So I'm not too keen on fracking, folks. They did a lot of fracking in Pennsylvania, and it started causing a lot of earthquakes. They did a lot just north of here, and we had 3 earthquakes that I could feel. And I was like, oh no, don't play with Mother Nature. And so I'm not too keen on fracking. I think they went too far with it. We can deal with having a little bit of fracking, and we can deal with the gas. I mean, I'd rather have a little gas than no gas. Um, all right, so and then we just got hit. Hawaii just got hit with a 3.0, a 3.1, Nupupu, Hawaii. So there we have it for the earthquakes. I think I got them all, and so I'm gonna move on. So on this day in history, um, I don't know. I don't. If any of you have a chance to go to Washington D.C., forget a lot of the hoopla downtown. Um, there is a lot of things you can see, and one of the things I was able to see was the veterans, the Great Wall. That could almost just bring tears to your eyes. And today's Veterans Day. But what was on this day, November 11th, 1921, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, dedicated at Arlington National Cemetery. Um, it's if you have never seen the ceremony they do, I tell you what, it's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things, and you can find it on YouTube. Um, and they say, here rests in honored glory American soldier, known but to God, the tomb of the unknown soldier. Um, about 20,000 Americans were lost and the remains missing in conflicts that followed, including Korea, Vietnam, the Cold War, the Gulf War, and the government no longer keeps or offers a number of missing from World War I, which is sad. But they do make a big effort with these unknown soldiers. And I think this is something we need forever because there's always going to be one that's lost out there. Um, so I salute them for that. But go see it if you get a chance and you're ever in um, DC and close, or you get a chance to go see it. Go see it. Um, it was at the end of the war to the end of the wars. Um, yeah, Duchy. Let's see. Duchy is and that means Dutch sense. Has shown all the plates have been moving more rapidly than what's being reported. Yes, um, and not only that, but a lot of these earthquakes that are under the volcanoes are pushing these volcanoes, moving the lava. Uh, like in Yellowstone, they say every time they get one at a 2.5 and above, what it does is it causes the lava to perk or it move from um, oh boy, what's it? Um, well, I got pouring rain. So much for being spit on. Now it's pouring. Um, from the I think mantle part of the earth. From then on up, and it pushes it and pushes it, and then it bubbles. Um, and they say that's a 2.5 or above. So now everything that is moving, you would not believe how quick, and even these cracks are starting to open up more and more. Um, Even the like that when I mentioned about Africa, I'd like to see if that big crack that they have is opened up more. Now, it'd be interesting. Are we going to get sinkholes out of this? Because every time we get some really big ones, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, when we get a really big one, we start seeing sinkholes all over the world. So I mean, something they're trying to warn us on something. Don't do that. Don't do what you're doing. You don't drill into the sides of volcanoes, folks, to get natural gas. That's where they meant that. That's where they screwed up. I mean, I could say it nicely, but they did. Um, and it was during the Obama administration that did this. And they're all against it. So why was Obama signing for the oil industries and the gas industries to start drilling into volcanoes? Yeah, yeah, they got their money's worth out of it, and then they don't want it, and they're going to crumble it. All right, a tribute to Native Americans, and we don't see this very often. And there is this week, the National Museum of American Indian is basically a salute to those that served and are service members for a branch of the military. And they said that they haven't been doing this for very long because the government never recognized them for their service in our military. So they had to take it upon themselves. Well, now they have been able to get what they call the National Native American Veterans Memorial. And so, as of this day, they are able to do a tribute to the Native American Indians that served in wars. Uh, it's the same way with our African American with World War I and II. When they came back here, I know I did the story um, on the Ninth Street, and so when they went to the Little Rock side, they were spit on. But and get this, and we even had congressmen that were African American, some of the first. Um, and so when they would go for over Ninth Street, they would get spit on. They were not wanted. So they went to Ninth Street where they were very welcome. And this is the same thing that has happened um, um, with the Native Americans. They got spit on over it when they, wore their uniforms home, and they were like, go put your little um, feathers back on. I don't want to get too racist. I don't want any American Indians getting mad at me. But the names they called them were horrible. Um, and William says, remember our POWs and our MIAs. Yeah. The unknown soldier. Yes. The MIAs, those missing in action. Um, and we've seen a lot of that during World War I, but also in Vietnam when many soldiers just never came home. Um, and the prisoners of war. Um, folks, I don't want to bring up Antifa, and I don't really like to, but on this day, and I'm going to tell you guys this, I'm going to be very honest with you. The Proud Boys, and you hear bad things about them, the Proud Boys became Proud Boys because on this day, in the Veterans Parades, they watched as Antifa and Black Lives Matter members would attack these veterans and flip them. If they were in wheelchairs, they'd flip them over. They'd spit on them. They would throw things at them. And the Proud Boys seen this and didn't like it. And some of them were part of Vietnam. And so they went after them and kept them from attacking the veterans parades. That's how the Proud Boys became the Proud Boys. I don't know if you guys knew that. Uh, it's something I looked into, and it's only because of I learned all this watching Antifa through Alex Jones, and then I was trying to figure out if Antifa was anonymous or not. And then I figured it out, and then I started watching them, and then I started seeing that they were attacking veteran parades. All right, moving onward. Or did I? Yeah, I got this done. Illinois' therapeutic riding programs. They're finding out that not only animals, soothe these veterans, in every different way. But there's a thing called Braveheart. It's the largest therapeutic horsemanship program in the country, and they've been helping veterans understand the healing power of the horse for more than a decade. This is out of Illinois, folks. Yay! I salute Illinois for this one. Because we don't hear good things from Illinois. We hear the gangs, the violence, the deaths, but this is an Illinois-based nonprofit that was founded in 2002 to help children with various diagnoses, but also the mission that the Bravehearts have done um, is also served to the veterans. Uh, it has a 2-year round accredited farms, 50 horses, and hundreds of volunteers. Now, this is also, I want to thank my friends Mickey and his name, I know him by Dog Man, and they do dogs. They do chocolate labs and golden labs as service dogs, not only for the veterans, you have to be a veteran or have a disability, but also they help get these dogs to kids with autism. So there are so many programs out there, and if you're a veteran and you need a companion, um, someone that you need some help with a service dog, get a hold of some of these foundations. I would suggest if you're interested in the dogs, email me at Investigator News, and I'll get you in touch with them. They're in Montana. It's called K9 Care Montana. I keep meaning to get her on the show for you all. So now we have this horse foundation. But look around. Veterans, if you need something, look into these foundations and get you someone that can help you. Um, Boy, I got a lot of veteran stuff. I told you. All right, with the octopus. Oh, I know you guys are just dying with the octopus thing. Uh, you know what? They fight each other and they throw rocks at each other. They throw shells at each other. Uh, and the scientists do not know why. They say this is something that people have caught that are underwater, um, oceanologists, or even those that are just going fishing underneath, and many have caught them doing this. They say, but normally, once they get their cameras out, these octopus decide they don't want to be seen. This is through us. You see it, Scientific America, and they finally had someone that was able to catch these octopus uh, throwing stuff at each other. It's only a very short clip, but they toss, like I said, empty shells and rocks. Get this, they even sometimes catch the fish midair and throw fish at one another. Um, I don't know if it's a octopus marital squabble. I don't know if it's who knows. It could be enemies and one's a bully and one's not, uh, or they've been doing this forever, and then one eventually moves away, and um, so now get this. Sometimes it even looks like they're in an arm wrestle, is what this article says, to where it looks like they're arm wrestling. And they spin around and they look like they're in a big wrestling match, and then they let go and go back to their corners, and then they start throwing stuff at each other again. So very interesting. I don't know if you guys knew that, but very interesting that these octopuses throw rocks, fish, shells, and they even arm wrestle. Uh, Funny things that we find out about the creatures under our sea. That's what I love about this show, folks. I love doing this because I'm big on ecology, and I look. I could probably bore you guys, but I look at this stuff. It's not that I go looking for it. I just naturally watch the stuff. Um, so, what does anybody know anything about the Turkish Tiffany tycoon? Um, Now, Tiffany. Um, well, she fell off the cruise ship. They think they can't find her. She was on a cruise ship. She was having a really wonderful trip, and then she just disappeared. And they think, she has a boyfriend. Here we go. Um, he didn't report her for 20 hours before saying, "Well, I can't find her anywhere." Well, I hope she didn't put him in the will. Um, so they're saying that she mysteriously plunged to her death from a cruise ship cabin last month while vacationing on her birthday. Even though they said it's not suicidal, maybe she had a little bit too much and tripped, and they don't know. See, I love how the media, and I love how these cruise ships put it like, well, maybe they just drank too much at the bar that night. What about the girl that disappeared off the deck, never to be seen again? She was sleeping, so, I mean, I don't think she got up and jumped overboard in the middle of the night, but they say she even fell off deck. So this Dilik Urtek um, basically said that after departing from in Tahiti, um, he waited about 24. Well, she looks kind of young, but at the same time, I think she said she was like 50 in her 50s. Her boyfriend's 71. Um, so basically, she disappeared off the ship, and he doesn't know what happened to her. All right, so I know you guys are dying to find out about Big Ben. Um, um, did you hold to know that it was broke? That's what got me. WION threw that at me early this morning, and it said it's working. I was like, what? I didn't even know it was broke. Yeah, the ringer or the bong, following a 5-year repair project. Um, they say it involved fixing basically redoing the clock. 1,000 moving components. They said basically was pretty much 90% of the clock. What happened to the blues guitarist? Tiffany the singer? Um, no, I think it's the heiress of Tiffany. That's how I got it. She's like 50, 60 years old. So I don't think she's is she that old, Susan? Do you know? Maybe I ought to go back and show you guys a picture, huh? Um, let's see how long this clip is. And the clip is kind of long, but there she is. So, is that the one you're I don't know if all these famous people. I don't really know them all, um, but she's the one that Mystery on the High Seas after the cruise ship death. Um, Not the singer. No, no. So it's the sea Turkish, and she's from Turkey. The Turkish Tiffany Tycoon dies after a mysterious fall from the cruise ship. Even Fox jumped on board with that one. That's what got me. It was like, what's going on with Fox News? They get a new owner, and he's saying we're going to be different. Um, so the Big Ben clock, okay. The bells are situated in the belfry atop a 96-meter this Elizabeth Tower, which is surrounded by external protective nets to keep away bats and pigeons. Some of London's most breathtaking views can be witnessed from there. So it has been broken, they said, approximately 6, 7 years. And the townspeople have not heard the bong in that long. And when they turned it back on and the bong started, it actually startled many in the town. Huh. So wow. Um, uh, Guinness World Record. Guess no, it's nothing weird. It's not no eating Tide Pods. It's a uncut emerald weighing 3 pounds. It's huge, and this is nothing that's ever been found. So this is an emerald, a 3 pound emerald, and it's broken the record for gems in the Guinness World Records. Um, okay. There now, if you were wondering if there was a tsunami, I didn't mention that. They called the tsunami off about around noon today. Um, so there wasn't. But don't run to the tsunamis, folks. No running to the tsunamis. All right, so we got a recall, and I've done this one before, but they're hitting me hard on my email. And I have gotten at least 6 emails in the last week about this stroller. It's Mockingbird is recalling approximately 149,000. It's a single to double strollers after receiving reports they can break and cause children to fall when being pushed. Um, they said that it's something within the metal or it's in the screws, but these things are falling apart. And not only that, but there's cracks in the frame that have led to 8 injuries so far, um, and has hurt many babies from this. So if you have a Mockingbird stroller, uh, call the company, get a hold of the company, and get rid of this thing. All right, so um, let's see. All right, so to the funny list. Oh boy. So I'm trying to. I guess I didn't get my stuff set here. So um, these one here are what I guess I should. All right, I'm going to trip over my lip. So these are funny names that actually exist, and more than likely, I'm going to have to show you these pictures because they're pretty weird. Okay, so this one here is hopefully you guys can see this. Her name is Erica, and it's spelled AIR. So what a weird and unique way to spell air Wicca. I guess her folks like the air. Um, and sometimes abbreviating your name is not the best idea. Anna L. Abbreviated her name in quite a few places, and the co-workers that she was working with got a really big kick out of it and asked who was it that was ANAL. So, all right. So, please pull over. I want to get off. So your driver's name, I guess, can you read it? Anas Shamar or Ramar. Gratitude's appreciated. So yeah, these are some weird names. This one is Anurag. No, I don't want to say his last name. I might get it for cursing on the show. Uh, but yeah, so boy, what a name. There used to be he did car insurance and his name was Lipsucker. And it was he had just this great big sign and we all used to make fun of it in high school. So let's hope she doesn't teach. This is Ruth Boring. Ruth Boring. Um, so this one here, girl, you need to work in the adult industry. Her name is BJ, and I can't say the last name. I could show you these names. Uh, so he knew what he was doing. Did he know? His name is Batman bin Superman or Superman. Yeah, hey, Superman. Yeah, Batman bin Superman. Yeah, what a name. The funniest name ever. Bend over. Um, so she sells a lot of houses with that funny name. I bet she does. Boy. Yeah, I want to say that with the thing that's underneath there right now. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for giving me a weird name. Now, Mary's not in here. I think a few of you know what my real name is. And it's different. I go by Ellie and Terry is a pet name, but not very many know my real birth name. That's a weird one. All right, this is a good one. Brownie. Yeah, Miss Brownie. Huh. What a name. And you got to read the rest of it. You might have to get up close. All right, this is definitely a win. His folks named him Bud Light. Huh, Bud Light. I bet that he was called a lot of funny names all the way through school. All right, so this one here is Candy Cummins. Um, Candy. But there's a lot of people named Candy. Seems more like a girl's name. All right, this one must be some sort of a ladies' man. And I'm not even going to read his name. You could see it. Boy, I tell you. This one here, He may hate his name, but compared to the rest on the list, I don't think it's that bad. His name is Carlos Carlos. I guess his family, I wonder if it's one that have like 10 kids and they're like, we just don't, we'll just call you our last name. We give up. Uh, so he says he hates his name. Now this one here is oh, never mind. I ain't going to say it. I'm going to skip on by. Uh, so this one is Datho. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think they know over in other countries. And get this, the next list you guys are really going to get a kick at. And I got to watch my time. Yeah, I'll do this one. This is Destiny Hooker. Her parents, I think her parents need to be spanked. Oh boy. All right, so I'm going to move on to the other list. And these are marketing gone bad. The Dairy Association's huge success with the campaign Got Milk prompted them to expand advertising to Mexico. And this has happened with a lot of different advertisers. As soon as it was brought to their attention that the Spanish translation to Got Milk is, are you lactating? All right, so Coors put a slogan, turn it loose. Well, in Spanish, it reads, suffer from diarrhea. See, we don't think about that when we come up with these slogans, and then we want to have it, share it with the rest of the world, and this is what we get. All right, Scandinavian vacuum manufacturer Electrolux used the following campaign: "Nothing sucks like Electrolux." I don't know about that. Clariol introduced a mist stick curling iron, and it went over to Germany and made it really big. And so they found out that mist is slang for manure. So it's a manure stick. Um, all right, when Gerber started selling baby food in Africa, Karen, you're going to love this one. Um, they use the same packing as US with the baby smiling on the label. Later, they learned that in Africa, companies routinely put pictures on the labels of what's inside. And since many can't read, it freaked out the Africans and they refused to buy the baby in a bottle. Colgate introduced toothpaste in France called Q, the name of a notorious porno magazine. Frank Perdue chicken slogan, "It takes a strong man to make a tender chicken," was translated in Spanish to, "It takes a very happy man to make a chicken affectionate." Oh, oh boy. So when Parker Pen marketed the ballpoint pen in Mexico, its ads were supposed to have read, "It won't leak in your pocket and embarrass you." Instead, the company thought that the word embarrassar was a better word. And lo and behold, they had to pull all of their pocket pens out because what it meant is to impregnate. So the ad read, "It won't leak in your pocket, but it will make you pregnant." And the pens were banned. So there you have it, folks, with our show. And we will be back on Monday for another show. If you watch just our weather and lifestyle news, this is your first time watching us, come on back, or subscribe to the channel and watch a few of these. I did put the this week funny pics out. Of course, I loaded up Hellions, Holes, and Poles, which is our joke page. And so I basically, just for YouTube, I started putting them all into a video and putting them out there. So please subscribe, and we do appreciate all of our viewers, and we're glad you watched today. We had a lot of fun. Now it's time for trivia, folks. 15 minutes, and we're going to do trivia. But I got a report sent to me from a gentleman that I've been looking into Operation Mockingbird, which is the media. And I kept in touch with this guy for a while, and he sent me something today. So I'll be going over a little bit of that and some trivia. So come on back on Monday, or we catch up on some of our shows over the weekend. Or just a reminder, even on this show, 2,000 Mules and Hacking Democracy. And there, I found both of them on Rumble yesterday. Uh, so with that, hit the subscribe, the bell, the like, hit that like button. I'm starting to be seen all over on mainstream, according to a lot of viewers, and hit it over there in um, Facebook. I'm going to start moving some things over to Rumble this weekend. Everybody keeps saying, "How come I don't do it?" It takes hours for me for some reason to upload things over to Rumble. So share, definitely share. Uh, Great show, a lot of funny things. I seen Karen just cracking up, and so some of it was like, "Wow, is that allowed?" Oh boy. But they were good ones. All right, folks. So with that, we will see you in about 15 minutes and for trivia. So come on back and play a little trivia. If you're driving home from work, have a little fun with trivia and then play a little bit, and maybe you'll get some of these right. So God bless, and we'll see you Monday. If not, we'll see you in a few minutes.